The artist, whose real name is Cantrell Galden, has been booked into the Cache County Jail on a number of charges. In fact, according to jail records, the listed charges are pattern of unlawful activity, procuring or attempting to procure drug prescriptions, identity fraud, forgery, possession of other controlled substances, possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. Now,
Oh, God. Figure that I'm on my own. There's no sense for me to quit. What you saying? We don't know. I'm just trying to reach my goals. Heard you snitching, saying that so you can't hang with me no more. What's up, guys? Chris and I'm back with another amazing video, man. Now today we got rapper NBA YoungBoy dragged out of his mansion to face new fraud charges, man. Now we just did a video reacting to Glorilla going to jail for a DUI. I'm sure she's fine now. But now we got NBA YoungBoy. Now if y'all know about NBA YoungBoy, then y'all know this man is currently on house arrest because of some type of something that he got into a while ago. And I don't really know the specifics on that case either, but I know he's on house arrest. He can't even leave the house. And so, but if you've been following his content, then you know that he's, still been smoking, still been doing illegal things, popping pills and everything like that, and flaunting. You know what I'm saying? Like he's posting videos, posting pictures. You know what I'm saying? All in the music videos, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? He had a music video where he was showing guns. I'm saying, I'm like, those gotta be props. I'm saying, like, those gotta be props. I know this man did not just hop out the video with 2 firearms in his hands like he's not on an ankle monitor. But, now he's arrested. And so we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Rapper NBA YoungBoy is not in a great place right now after just being arrested on a slew of new charges, including identity fraud, all while he's on arrest in Utah on other charges. We're going to talk about what is going on here with attorney and hip-hop legal expert Afi Patterson. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Here we go.
We have been focusing on a lot of hip-hop stories here on Sidebar, and now we got another one for you that actually might have a connection to one of our bigger trials that we covered. I'm talking about rapper YoungBoy, Never Broke Again, or NBA YoungBoy. Well, he has just found himself in a lot of hot water after he was arrested out in Utah. The artist, whose real name is Cantrell Galden, has been booked into the Cache County Jail on a number of charges. In fact, according to jail records, the listed charges are pattern of unlawful activity, procuring or attempting to procure drug prescriptions, identity fraud, forgery, possession of other controlled substances, possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. Now,
Oh, God. Bro, your only job is to stay in the house and make music. Your only job. The only thing you have to do is stay in the house, chill out, raise your children, and make music, bro. What pattern of unlawful activity? What were you doing that was unlawful at the house? You know what I'm saying? Attempting to procure drug prescription. I mean, I get it, bro. People be addicted, but at the same time, like, come on. Identity fraud, YoungBoy. You not faking nobody's identity, bro. We knows you. We can spot you a mile away, bro. I promise you. You not frauding no one's identity. And why do you need to do that in the first place? You're a multi-millionaire. Probably even getting close to being a billionaire. What? Why? Literally, why? Same thing from when G Herbo got into that situation. Why? Y'all got millions on what was the point in being a famous, successful, super successful rapper if you was gonna still do this? You could have stayed in the trenches, bro. I promise you. You could have stayed in the trenches, bro. If you don't know how to put all this away, and you could have stayed in the trenches, bro. If you was gonna still keep going back to jail. Possession of a controlled substance, possession of dangerous, some of them guns that he really had was real. This dude here, bro.
TV2 News out in Utah. Remember Brian Schnee? Talked a lot with him and his associates during the Ruby Frankie case. Well, they have reported that YoungBoy is actually looking at potentially 63 formal charges. This according to an arrest affidavit. And according to this arrest affidavit, this is pursuant to, quote, a large-scale prescription fraud ring in which people would call in fraudulent prescriptions under the names of actual real doctors, but then they would use fake patient names with fake information. There's an allegation that when it became known this investigation was happening into this scheme, that someone apparently called law enforcement pretending to be a, quote, Gwendolyn Cox, who wanted to speak with a deputy but really wouldn't provide a lot of information. According to the affidavit, quote, Gwendolyn sounded as though she was a much younger male from the southern states. Gwendolyn made a statement, well, I asked her to, and she said that she'll have you call me. This statement was a response to a request that was made to have Gwendolyn contact dispatch and have them transfer a call back through.
What?
I've lived in the southern United States. The terminology in replacing the word ask with ax or other variations is considered with a southern dialect in states such as Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and other southern states.
Oh
Now,
my God. Bruh. Bruh. You couldn't, if you was going to do that, you couldn't have an actual woman do it. Talk about some acts. That's how you get caught, young boy. Because of how you talk. Come on. I mean, I know he be sounding like a girl sometimes, but you don't do it that well. Like, we still know it's you. We still know it's you. Talk about some Gwendolyn Cox. You could have literally had all them girls you be having in the music videos. You mean to tell me not one could have bust a play for you? You mean to tell me not one of them couldn't? What? Yo, you know what I just realized? I got on all green, and this is a green screen. So my body might not even be showing up on the camera.
What happened in the end was multiple people were arrested when allegedly YoungBoy's car was being used to pick up one of these fraudulent prescriptions. It was pulled over. Marijuana, a weapon, multiple prescription bottles were found in the car.
Wow.
The arrest affidavit says, quote, according to the FBI, Cantrell is the known leader of a violent gang from the Louisiana area. Based on Cantrell's history, it is apparent that he is prone to violence. Based on the totality of the circumstances, a no-bail hold is requested to be placed on Cantrell, pending a detainer to be obtained by federal prosecution for his current case.
Jesus.
Now, that in and of itself would be concerning.
Right.
But here is the problem for YoungBoy as well. He was on house arrest.
Right,
he is
exactly.
waiting to go on trial on separate federal firearms charges
Like,
after allegedly illegally having guns back in September of 2020 in Louisiana during a music video shoot when multiple people were arrested on gun and narcotics charges.
Goodness.
For YoungBoy, it is currently illegal for him to possess firearms because he is a convicted felon. He was convicted of aggravated assault back in 2017. However, little interesting side note, YoungBoy's legal team, they're actually awaiting a big Supreme Court decision on the Second Amendment that may rule it unconstitutional to bar felons from possessing handguns.
Which is stupid.
Guns.
What are you talking
His
about?
trial-
Some bar felons from... All right, so what if this dude is literally like a menace to society and he needs to not be having no guns on him? I'm not talking about YoungBoy, but you get a felon that went to jail for doing aggravated assault, as the video says, comes out, but he's still towing guns, trying to hurt people. And y'all letting it... They just made it legal in the state that I live in for people 18 and up to just have a gun. You don't even need a license. You don't even need training. You just get a gun. You can just if you're 18 or older, you can just go get a gun. You know what I'm saying? And now they're trying to make it so that felons can have a gun. Like, America is going so far down, it's not even ridiculous. It is ridiculous, what I'm going to say.
Get a decision from the Supreme Court. But by the way, for our sidebar listeners, you might be saying, why does NBA YoungBoy sound so familiar? Well, that could be because he was brought up during an interview we did regarding the YNW Melly case.
What you got to do with this?
Interviewed Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, and her mother, Felicia Holmes. You might recall that Melly is charged with the murders of his friends, YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser.
Man, what y'all think? He did it or not? Y'all think he killed him? You know what? I think he did. I think he did. Because why? First of all, why would he turn himself in? That's the first thing. If he really didn't do it, why would he turn himself in? That makes no sense. Would you turn yourself in for something you didn't do? No. 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 You wouldn't. So why would he turn himself in? That's one. Two. All the evidence, well, not all of the evidence, but I feel like the evidence that I've seen, it points to him doing it. Like the trajectory of the shots and all that extra stuff. I can't name them off the top of my head. But from what I've seen, I believe he did it. Plus, I've heard that there was some backstory between him and his friends, and there was beefing, or not beefing, but had some disagreements and da 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 da. And plus, on top of that, bro, like, I'm not one to just judge somebody off their music, because a lot of rappers be capping. But at the same time, bro, if you just listen to his songs, man, like literally he be and I know they all do it, but at the same time, this is different because it's real for this guy. You know, in his music, he's talking about I'm a murderer, this, that, and the third. And then in real life, you got cases where he's killing his friends, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like he did it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like he did it. And will he get out soon? I don't think so. This man been in jail for how long now? He been in jail for so long, it's not even ridiculous. I keep saying that. It's literally ridiculous. He been in jail for so long, it don't make no type of sense. He getting that TK treatment. He getting that Bobby Shmurda treatment right now.
Associate YNW Bortland shot and killed the men, then staged the scene to look like a drive-by.
Yeah.
Melly's first trial ended in a mistrial. He's awaiting a new trial. We actually learned that the death penalty has been taken off the table for now. But anyway, we interviewed Hamilton and Holmes, and whether there was another explanation for what happened here, well, they brought up this alleged altercation between Melly and NBA YoungBoy. Take a look.
I think that somebody pissed somebody off. I think Melly would have gotten shot too. I think he maybe was a target as well, and probably still is.
Any reason to think that, other than any?
Well, like I said, my daughter was just in. They just got jumped. They had just gotten jumped in Atlantic Records, I think, in L.A. Was it Atlantic Records by NBA YoungBoy and a whole bunch of guys. That just happened. And
why would NBA YoungBoy jump this little girl?
This long from the scuffle, from the fight, you know.
So what was that?
Why would they jump her?
I was terrified. I thought I was going to lose my life that day, honestly.
What? Why would they jump her?
It happened so quickly. It happened so quickly. Like, within a blink of an eye, we had just got to the studio, and they all just started arguing and fighting. And next thing you know, we're getting jumped by so many guys. And I'm trying to shield and protect Melly. And
you was trying to protect Melly. That don't make no girl. Shut up. That don't make no sense. You was trying to protect Melly from guys? No. No. The way that would have went is people would have got shot. The way that would have went was he would have been protecting you. What do you mean you were trying to protect Melly? That doesn't sound right to me. That's just like what? Name one situation y'all was finna get jumped and your girlfriend jumped in front of you. What?
Lay on top of him just to like guard him
from the punches.
When was this?
In the
How
kicks?
soon before the shooting was this?
I think this was like in August of 2018. August or
about
September.
a month or so before the murders.
Yeah, it was like August or September of 2018.
Someone took his chain or something. They took his chain.
Yeah, his chain fell and they took it.
But they gave it back.
Like what started that?
We were outside and we were pulling up to the studio, and his friend Melly's Zach was like, there go NBA YoungBoy. So we're like, oh yeah, that is NBA YoungBoy. So he's like, I feel like we're gonna get into it with him. So I'm just praying, like, God, please don't let us get into it with these people. Like, I hope not. So as we walk into the studio, like he give Melly a look, like he sighs him. So Zach, like, what's up? Like, you straight or whatever? And he's like, he was like, yeah, I'm good or whatever. Then he just started saying stuff. And then Zach ended up saying something back to him. And then Melly was like, what's up? And he swung on Melly. They fought. And then the guys started jumping in. Everybody just started jumping in. I tried to jump.
I ain't never heard of this in my life.
Like, guard him.
Is this real?
It was just a big scuffle, honestly. Like, it was bad. It was horrible.
Did police ever look into this?
No.
But now YoungBoy is arrested on the Utah while on house arrest. Again, don't know a ton of more details about this, but let me bring on Afi Patterson, trial attorney, rap, hip-hop legal expert to talk about this. Afi, good to see you. So first, let's start off.
Why she look like
Do
that?
you have some sort of connection to YoungBoy, or am I completely off base there?
You are spot on. I'm a Baton Rouge girl, born and raised in Louisiana, living in LA right now. And I was talking with my husband last night about it because I remember we had mentioned him before when we were talking about his music. And he said, I think he was at the same school that I taught with because, my husband and I originally met in Baton Rouge when he was, during his Teach for America days. So
Teach for America.
we kikied about that a while ago and again last night. But yeah, the connection is Baton Rouge. I'm a Baton Rouge girl through and through, and proud, love it, and yeah.
Well, what can you tell us before we get into the legal details? What can you tell us about YoungBoy's reputation in the industry?
I think he's got a reputation for making music that goes viral. He's really popular with, I think, probably age groups beginning in middle school, maybe a little bit younger, up
Definitely.
through 45, 47, 48, 49. He's got just a wide swath of people that enjoy his music, and he's just really layered, if you can imagine that, layered and rich in his music. So, yeah.
Hey, I just want to take a sidebar from Sidebar for a second to talk about something completely different. We are in this whole new culture right now where we are finally recognizing how important it is to eat clean, to use clean products. These charges that he's now facing. When I've talked a little bit about his criminal history, when I've talked about the fact that, let me give everybody an idea here. Pattern of unlawful activity. That charge, it consists of engaging in conduct which constitutes the commission of at least 3 episodes of unlawful activity, which episodes are not isolated but have the same or similar purposes, results, participants, victims, or methods of commission, or otherwise interrelated by distinguishing characteristics. They
All these big words, I don't know what that means.
Ongoing major fraudulent scheme. Does this consistent with the image, the persona that he's put forward?
Yeah. Duh, you know that.
I would say no. So I think that when I looked at the charges, and how about this? Yesterday I spoke with his attorney, and some things that we talked about basically were procedurally what he's been facing, and he
always looking.
He basically told me how he's kind of been railroaded. And when I went back to look at the charges, these are just, I think, run-of-the-mill charges that I would see every day, and they'd be related to smaller things like guns, incidents when he'd be with other people. And basically how it goes is when you're with a lot of people and let's say there's some drugs in the area, or
are you talking about the new charges he's facing, or are you talking about the old charges, the firearms charges?
Everything. But I'm starting with the old, and I was going to the new charges.
Okay. Because just want to be clear. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want me to stick to the new charges, I don't know very much about the new charges, but what I do know is just looking at his history and being in Utah and being in isolation, I think he's talked a lot about his mental health. And I think he's talked about, a possible addiction. So I don't necessarily look at this as from a criminal point or aspect. I think that, this country over the last 12 years, we've looked at people who have addictions with a lot of sympathy, and we've looked at them as people who need help and not to be criminalized. So I think that's the approach.
So
the
what she's trying to say is basically we're going to say that he's an addict. We're going to put him in the rehab. We're going to skip that little jail time. And yeah, okay, I get it. Cool.
With right now,
but these are serious drugs.
The drug addict, like, it's so crazy how the rap game has went from dudes being drug sellers, you see what I'm saying, and looking down on the dope fiends, looking down on the pill heads, looking down on the pot heads. Well, not pot heads, but looking down on the drug doers. You know what I'm saying? And to now, it's like everybody want to pop pills. Everybody want to sip lean. Everybody want to, you know what I'm saying? And they talking about the weirdest stuff. I just pop a pill, put ecstasy, Molly on her champagne, ecstasy, all this extra stuff. Juice WRLD talking about girls doing crack, all this stuff. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, Okay, it sounds good, but at the same time, bro, can we like can we get back on plot? Can we get back on subject, bro? I thought we was talking about some real stuff. We over here talking about like, being addicted to drugs, and we wonder why the mental health rate is so low. It's because people are doped out. People are drugged out. People are strung out. So that's why and they're getting strung out at a young age, bro. People are getting exposed to weed. People are getting exposed to pills. People are getting exposed to lean. People are getting exposed to all these different drugs at such a young age. And so when they grow up, they feel like their whole life was a freaking mess. When at this the only reason as to why they feel that way is because of the fact that they've been on drugs their whole life, and they wish they never got on drugs, so they're disappointed in themselves, and they want to kick it, but they can't because they've clung on to it for so long that like now it's time to let it go, and they just can't. They just can't. They go through heavy withdrawal symptoms. They start to hate themselves because of it. You see what I'm saying? And it's all a big cycle. And with fathers not being around and good role models not being around and leaders not being around, it's easy to fall into the system. It's easy to fall into the hamster wheel. It's very rare that we see somebody sticking out and sticking to a good script. It's very rare. You know what I'm saying? Every new rapper that comes out that gotta be negative. I keep saying this in every song. It's very rare that we get a J. Cole, that we get a Kendrick Lamar, that we get somebody that we can really look up to. It's very rare now. When back in the day, that used to be the market. That used to be what people wanted. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they're serious charges. Everything sounds serious when it's written down and before you've had an opportunity to refute it or defend yourself. So, the first thing I heard you mentioned earlier, he's supposedly leading a violent gang. How do you do that from Utah? How do you lead a violent gang in Baton Rouge from Utah? That just seems fantastical and like a super impossibility.
Well, their argument would be, we've just charged him with operating this kind of prescription fraud scheme, and if he's able to do it under house arrest, who knows what he might be able to do from the confines of a home.
Yeah.
That's their argument. That would be the prosecutor's argument, I would imagine.
Is it a prescription fraud scheme, or is it an attempt by someone who has a mental health issue to acquire something to help him self-medicate?
And let's talk about that, because it really, I think, comes back to the house arrest. And
you mean to tell me he couldn't get no pills legally? I don't know how house arrest work, and I don't know how the whole system works. So y'all let me know in the comments. But y'all mean to tell me he couldn't do it? You mean to tell me there was no legal way he could feed his habit? I really feel like he could have done something without going to jail. I really feel like
house arrest. So he actually agreed to this house arrest in Utah, where he's under the constant surveillance of this security team. Mm-hmm. But it reportedly hasn't been that great for him. The reason I say that is he apparently posted on his cat, whose name is Neon, his cat Neon's Instagram page back in July of 2023. It said, quote, "It's me, Neon. I've been seeing a lot. My dad's so unhealthy. It's scary, even his mental. He blows his money, making people smile who don't care to see the signs that's literally in their face. 20 Xanax a day. Please, #help. His lawyer then filed papers suggesting that YoungBoy had been suffering from anxiety, depression, weight and sleep loss.
Yeah.
A federal judge ended up loosening some of those restrictions on his house arrest, allowing him to get mental health treatment, but wouldn't allow him to spend more time at the recording studio, even though his team had argued that this is significantly hurting his career and sales of his music. Mm-hmm. But then 2 months ago, prosecutors accused him of violating the terms of his house arrest, specifically the prohibition on using or unlawfully possessing a narcotic drug or other controlled substance. So that's kind of a basic framework of what we're talking about with his house arrest. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think, you just read the message from Neon, the cat, who said his dad needs help.
Do you think it was the cat? Do you think it was the cat that wrote it?
This man just love asking the dumbest questions. Talk about some, do you think it was the cat? Just let the lady talk. Shut up. Talking about some, do you think it was the cat? No. No. I thought it was your mom. That's what I thought it was. No, I'm playing.
I think it's the cat.
Shut up.
I mean, well, you told me it was the cat. So
I did say
it's
the cat.
And the cat said,
yeah.
the cat said his dad needs help. You know,
Yeah,
the cat said his dad's on 20 Xanax a day.
I have some questions for that cat, but yes.
What does the cat know? But also, he's not able to go to the studio like he wants to. You know, Jesse, you're a creative. I'm a creative. You know, creative.
That don't mean nothing though. I got a studio in my house right now. Talking about some, I can't go to the studio, bro. You're a multi-millionaire. You can build, bro. You can literally build a whole studio in the house. You can put a room on the house, make it your studio. You can have it however you like it. Interior design. That don't mean nothing. Talking about some, I can't have that. We literally just seen a video, a vlog of you recording music in your living room. What are we talking about here? What do you have producers in your house going crazy? What are we talking about here? Get out of my face with that.
They need stimulation. If you're on house arrest, you're in a gilded cage. You don't have a regimen. You don't have regular interaction. You don't have a creative outlet.
Oh, please get out my face, yo! If you're gonna defend YoungBoy, we gotta be smart. If we gonna defend YoungBoy, we gotta say smart stuff. The amount of music videos he's put out, y'all can't say nothing about no mental health. That man is good. He is good. This man has a whole mountain to himself. He got a house full of children. He got a wife there. He got girls that he want. He can literally get any girl he wants to show up. He got an open relationship. He's straight. He got friends there, brothers there. People want to come interview him. He just did an interview with Gilly the Kid and what's his name? He's fine. This man is addicted to jail. Let's keep it 100. The YoungBoy is addicted to prison, bro. It can be an addiction. Y'all ever heard of a jailbird? He's addicted to prison. He's addicted to going to jail, and that's fine. That's okay.
Been crying out for a long time that he's been depressed and he needs help, and he doesn't have the tools or the capacity to handle that.
Well, let's also talk about this from a legal point of view. He just was hit with all of these charges,
right?
Or he's about to be formally indicted on these charges,
right?
I imagine house arrest is now going to be out of the question. Would I be crazy to think that?
No, I think again his attorney James
hey, that whole Grave Digger Mountain, that's out. Somebody about to buy that. Hey, listen, he not coming home for a while. That Grave Digger Mountain about to go up for sale. We need the money at this point. We need the money at this point.
I've known him for a while. He's argued before the United States Supreme Court, and I think he's on his way out there to figure out what's going on. And I think that house arrest is definitely not out of the question. I think that you
think he's going to get house arrest after now being hit with all these charges? How is that possible?
Right.
I think it's not out of the question.
Man, this is wishful thinking by her behalf.
So, anything is possible. And again,
but one of the main conditions of a house arrest is don't commit crimes while you're on house arrest, or don't be, charged or arrested while you're on house arrest. I mean,
right.
That's a problem, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Ernie
like, what he gonna say? What he gonna say? It was a prank, bro. What is young? What is YoungBoy supposed to say? It was just a prank. Like, what are you talking about?
Chalked up. We're gonna get him back in Utah on house arrest, out in his home. Nothing to worry about. Did he say anything like that?
No, he's not revealed that to me. But me just looking at the charges and looking at what Neon again has said about his dad, to me this looks like an opportunity for the feds to come in and get a conviction and can I say get their lick back from
not the lick back. This girl is crazy.
His jury trial in LA where he was found not guilty. For another federal charge, and I think
another firearms charge. Yeah.
I think they've been looking for him to do something, and they've been looking to get him on something, and this is their opportunity.
He
made it easy. He made it easy enough.
His attorney told you about his current legal status, about what we should be thinking about it. Is there anything he told you about how he might be fighting back against this, or what a defense could be?
He don't even know.
Not anything that I'm willing to reveal, but I think that it's important. It's important to, they're thinking about the Supreme Court case that's coming out where, as you mentioned earlier.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because this is very significant. The Supreme Court and this decision could basically affect whether or not those federal charges he's facing stick. They could potentially be thrown out. The reason I say that is because the Supreme Court is going to be hearing a case or deciding a case about whether people, and this is my understanding, with domestic violence protection orders should be barred from having guns. Well, NBA YoungBoy has expanded that argument to say that a firearms ban for convicted felons in general is unconstitutional, that convicted felons have a Second Amendment right to bear arms. And he cites a major Supreme Court decision from 2022 that struck down a New York handgun licensing law that created all these special requirements to possess a handgun outside of the home. That was a big win for Second Amendment advocates. Now, prosecutors in YoungBoy's case say, not so fast, that the ban on convicted felons carrying guns, that has been in place. That has been utilized dozens and dozens of times. In fact, since that 2022 Supreme Court decision, and then a majority of courts across the country have enforced this prohibition. So you tell me what we can expect from the Supreme Court there and whether or not it's going to have an effect on YoungBoy's federal charges.
And let her talk.
I'm just glad that the Supreme Court has taken this up and is looking into it, because a lot of times I would have, I remember I had, an elderly man. He had a felony conviction, something he pled guilty to, I thought was pretty minor, but a lot of times people take felony pleas to avoid prison time. And he couldn't possess a gun. And a lot of times, especially in Louisiana, it's a hunting and fishing state. So just, the opportunity to not even be able to hunt like you usually would because you're a felon in possession of felon in possession of the gun. So I'm glad it's an issue. Also, a lot of these felonies are non-violent felonies. So I don't understand how you can remove the right to possess a gun from somebody just because they are convicted of a felony. But we're going to just only address the issue with domestic violence, which is a crime of violence. It's in the name. So I'm glad they're taking it up.
I wonder if they keep it very narrow and say we're just going to focus. Yeah. I think that's probably what the Supreme Court will do. We'll decide the issue with domestic violence orders and maybe not generalize it over or expand it to convicted felons. That's my guess, but we'll wait and see. Afi Patterson, really interesting case. We'll continue to follow it, see what develops, but appreciate your insight. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And that is all we have for you here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you.
Well, man, y'all heard it here, folks. Not here first, but y'all heard it here. NBA YoungBoy back in jail for the millionth time. I don't know what he got going on. I don't think he know what he got going on at this point. He's talking about he got this mental health situation. I mean, yeah, being in the house sucks. All the time, not being able to go out, not being able to go to no parties, not being able to experience like yo, you get so rich, you get so famous, you get so successful, and you're condemned to one house for the rest of your days until they tell you when you can leave. Like I know that's gotta be like so terrible, bro. Like right now it doesn't really matter to me because I'm chilling, but at the same time, like if I worked so hard and got so far just to get stuck at home, bro, I would probably be tripping too. I'd probably be like, yo, like what have I done all this for? But at the same time, bro, you gotta be smart. If you guys like this video, think it's a pretty cool video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the post notifications, share this video with all of your friends. And until next time, guys, peace out. You're not a speed bump, you're just an obstacle. And I'm trying to get everything straight, so stay out my business. I said it's not your business. Stay out my business. I'm trying to keep on winning. Stay out my business. I'm like, why is you winning?